Hey guys, welcome to this beautiful show, The Benjamin Zulu Show. And by the way, have you ever wondered if there is any likelihood of a marriage working after an affair has happened? Have you ever thought of that, by the way? The dynamics in between, in there, what it takes to make marriage work. Now, today on the show, Benjamin is going to tell you how, or the probability under which certain marriages can work for the better after cheating, right? You need to understand this so that we don't become irrational human beings who always act on impulse. Hey, Benjamin.
Hey, and you know, I'm remembering how many times I've seen that the analogy of a good father who will whip the child rather than let them perish.
Yes.
Today we are discussing two angles. One, those people must go through baptism of fire. Those people must be baptized with the pain to unveil their true potential.
Yes.
To unveil their true character. And those people, especially men, we being men, I want to warn us, because we are being inducted to a culture that makes men think it's permissible to marry a second wife, have a side chick, that's normal for men. Those men who must be, who your purpose is too high, your calling is too sensitive to grow up with such undisciplined, scattered mindset. Mm-hmm. And it takes a knock, a hit by a car that you must be pushed to the brink of death to wake up. Mm-hmm. There are people who will only take a U-turn. They will make a U-turn after God has to wrestle with them.
Yes.
So, many of them, it's when they have betrayed the person who matters the most to them. Mm-hmm. So today I'm discussing two elements. One, that you can make a mistake and the mistake makes you.
Yes.
That you can lose your way and then find yourself. That you should not let the blunder you have made become a curse, rather to be a conversion. Mm-hmm. That's one thing I'm comforting the sinner.
That there is a divine purpose in the sin.
Sometimes if God couldn't get you through a sermon, he has other equipment. Okay. Yes. It says in Romans that the goodness of the Lord leads us to repentance. Mm-hmm. And primarily I want you to be praying for yourself that you learn to respond to goodness.
Yeah.
Don't wait for the cane. Because God has both.
Yes.
It's upon
true.
you. He says in Psalm 32 that I'll watch you. I will guide you with my eye upon you.
Yes.
But don't be like a horse or a mule, which must be beaten with a cane, or it will not come with you. All right? Yeah. He tells you have an option. I would like to guide you, but it's you to choose whether to be a peaceful affair. Imagine. He tells you, we need to move, but you have to decide. Jonah could have simply boarded the ship to Nineveh.
Nineveh, yes.
A peaceful voyage, sleeping along the way and memorizing his sermons and preparing message. But the guy dashes. And then he took storms and fish and whales, swallow. And he still landed in Nineveh. Let me tell you, saying I'm a chosen person may sound prestigious. Mm-hmm. People like to say it. But Bramwell, when you're chosen, your choices are few.
Yes.
Make peace with that. There are other
Very
people
true.
here who rebelled early on and their attitude they don't want to be told. So whatever they do, they get away with it. Mm-hmm. Because God is nowhere in their life.
Yeah. They
are on their way to destruction. The road to destruction is so wide. They make so much noise and they party on their way to hell. It's the only party they will ever have. They're not building character or trying to obey God. They have invented their own religions. They have invented their own explanations for how they came about. Some of them, they say they came through an explosion.
Yes.
Explosion of nothing.
Big Bang.
Nothing. One day nothing exploded. Then I found myself here. Which is much like saying the architectural drawings for this building came from when milk spilled. Mm-hmm. One day milk spilled, and the precise architectural drawings for this building. That's what you're saying when you say something is complex. It's the earth and systems came from an explosion. And imagine scientists with common sense are believing it.
Yeah.
But remember, Adam had to find for somewhere to hide from God. People are still looking for leaves, weaving twigs to hide from God.
Yes.
I heard you coming and I hid. They are still hiding. The eternal question remains. There are two eternal questions you must always remember in your head, brother. Because we will deal with them after this for 1 billion years. For endless years. One is, Adam, where are you?
Yeah.
Where are you? People are still hiding. Oh no, we came from gorilla. Oh no. The reason they're hiding, their deeds are evil. They're deceived. They eaten the wrong food. And they look for other religions to arrange that so that they make it look like Christ is one of the religions.
Yeah.
And he's the only hope of salvation. I told you not to confuse. There's no other religion that tells you anybody who pays for your sin, anybody will come back. No other religion where the Buddha will not come back, but nobody will come back. Nobody will pay for your sin. The other eternal question is, what shall it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul?
Yeah.
Those are the only two questions.
Yeah.
Where are you? And what shall it profit you if you become the most famous journalist, the most famous thief, and lose your own soul? We are famous scientists who still die. The moment they are dead, their deeds are, that's all. All right? So we are saying, you do not, once you are chosen, your choices are few because God has a stake in where you end up. I don't know why he chooses people. We'll ask him when he gets there, okay?
Yes.
But I have a few elements I've noticed. All the people he chose have a good heart, cooperative attitude. They love people. They're soft. You may ask me about Saul. Saul genuinely believed Judaism was right. He was loving God just in the wrong way. Those who love God and they are all in the wrong religions, he always reveals himself to them. Yeah. All of them. Wherever they are born. So don't listen to this or ask you, well, how come? What if you are born in this religion? Anybody whose heart is for God, he will show himself to you. There are people, you should not move them from African religion they are in, from the witchcraft they are in. They don't have a heart for God. Even if you remove them from there, you won't bring them to God. Yeah. Always remember that. There's some people, the doctor will tell you, even if you cure this, they will contract the other. Because their behavior is bad. They are open for all kinds of diseases.
Yes.
All right? So we are addressing these people who they themselves needed a hard knock. And my message for all of us, once you begin to suspect, like there's a destiny hovering over you, like a mission you have to accomplish, your choices are only two. Obey it or die. I know you are waiting for a glamorous option.
Obey or die.
Exactly. There were two things. All of them. Look at Jonah. He thought he's finished. Nobody there before had been swallowed and vomited alive. He thought he is now food. I don't know why he was not digested by the acid. God can stop many things. He was surrounded by weeds and the other things the fish is eating. He swallowed whole, he still vomited. He could have taken a peaceful voyage. He took another long, dark voyage. You have two options. Once you begin to sense, it's like your actions are being guided by an invisible hand. Things are adding up in a way you can't tell. I told you the other time somebody begins to ask you, hey, how do you know there's God? Ask them, have you ever seen something you know? Somebody did this for me. Somebody stopped the accident. Somebody. How would have been, sometimes death snatches people like the tongues of fire. Yeah. The way they swallow a fly. Just like this. The person is gone. An accident happens, and within a flash, the person is gone. And you wonder, why did I arrive here just a few seconds? Safe. I missed by a few seconds. Yeah. Why did I would have boarded the vehicle, somebody got it got accident. How many times? So what we are saying is, if you're thinking you have the freedom to cheat, to move around, to do this, hurt, cause, grieve the Spirit of God, and all this, make sure you have no sense of destiny. Once you are chosen, you have freedom to philander, to misbehave. It's not there. Yeah. Perhaps you are born purposefully for that reason. There are many people who they served their purpose reluctantly. Can you imagine? God sent Jonah to preach to people, and God himself has to preach to Jonah. the conversation in the book of Jonah is going. God trying to preach to the preacher. Because he told them, in 40 days you'll be beaten up. He'll be shot. Then God decides to forgive them, and the guy is so angry.
So annoyed.
No, you're embarrassing me. I told them they will see fire.
Yes. He gets annoyed with God. He sleeps under a tree.
And Jonah ends in a question.
Yes.
The last verse is a question.
Yes.
Surely these people have so many who can tell the right from the left. Wasn't there? So I could have shown them mercy. He was angry that the tree, the shelter, dried. Yes. God had brought it up. He sent a worm to eat it. Now, look, I brought this up and I took it away. Yeah. Why are you angry with me? And there are people who like Jonah. I don't want you to be like Jonah, a reluctant prophet, a reluctant servant, that who must be pushed and encouraged every day. You must debate and argue. Yeah. Your fruit will be very small. I want you to be enthusiastic. I want you to be eager. I would rather God slows me down than having to wake me up. That's better, my brother. Let me be over there. Yes. I have to be told, okay, now wait. Then I'll be, please wake up. Now it's time. No. I want your energy to be up here. You'll achieve more. But let me tell you, there are things God will do for you. Others He will do with you. Yes. Others He will enable you to do.
Yes.
Please, look at the partnership. He wants you to journey together. And He's working as if you are the only person He has to work with. Without telling you, I was the Benjamin, you wait for me. He is with you full time. That's the super ability of God, to be with you full time. So one thing we are saying is, please, as a brother, as a sister, these things of infidelity and committing sexual sin, they are not for you if you are chosen. Forget it. They will cost you more. You'll be whipped. You'll be tossed and turned, and you will cry. David was punished so severely. He was given difficult choices to choose.
Yeah.
Whether to be chased around by his enemies for 6 months, whether to be punished by God for me, he was given so hard choices. He chose to be punished by God directly, and the punishment was still very painful. Remember that. When you are a child of God, you don't get away. You don't get away with it. You'll be whipped because He can't risk losing you eternally. Yeah. He cannot risk. There are some things you just must align early. The problem with us is we want both ways. We want to have the freedom to philander and still have God, still have destiny, So these people who have to be whipped because they have not organized their lives, made up their hearts, prepared their minds to stick with God's way, with integrity, with character, with faithfulness. Let me also remind you that the reason your character is important is you are with it forever.
Yeah.
You are with it forever. You are with it in this world and in the one to come. The good heart you need to cultivate, the honest, of course, you not be perfected. It's not expected that you'll be finished, become like God. No. But you should be advancing, becoming better, because there's work you have to perform here which requires your character. The second category the people want to talk to is how to know whether the person deserves a second chance, whether they are changing. We have said people become better after cheating. Number one, when they were misguided, thinking they had the freedom to philander around, only to realize the partner they have, they got the best partner on earth. They got the person who supports them, who loves them genuinely, who sincerely supports them. But they slept on that fact. Appreciation comes from awareness. When you lose awareness, when you lose sensitivity to the privilege you have, you're likely to take it for granted and lose it. Remember that. When you remember the specialness of the woman you have, how lucky you are, how special she is to your life, how she supports you and the change she brings to your life. When you remove your eyes from that, you can start seeing other clandestine, more beautiful. You can start seeing. Our minds are like that. What you focus them on magnifies.
Yes.
One thing you must try to always keep your mind focused on your woman. To see her beauty, her goodness, her kindness, her soul. Cultivate that. Keep your mind, your eyes focused. Keep your eyes focused on your partner. When you let them stray, it begins that way. Attention is straying. Sooner or later, your energy will go that way. You find yourself having gone too far, and you incur so much punishment. The punishment is time wasting, brother. There's no benefit for punishment except correcting your ego.
Yeah.
But it's time consuming. Delays. David's life was never quite the same. after that deed, it was, his life never went back to what it was. Yes, he had the love of God, is to achieve the battles, but look, his women were, his son went and slept with his women.
Yeah.
On rooftop somewhere. Some of things men were dire, man. The repercussions are back, and I mean, the consequence and the ripple effect, my brother, they are not worth it. Sit down and do your mathematics. Better love the woman who loves you sincerely, the man who loves you sincerely, in control. In fact, discuss with God the problem of your wandering passions.
Yeah.
Your mind. And learn to pray daring prayers. That if you're in an office and you're tempted by a person, constantly they are making attempts and they know you have a soft spot for them, ask God to separate the two of you. And he will do it quickly like this. You will see it tomorrow. Sorry, we were to transfer one of you to... You'll be shocked how he was ready to help you.
Yes.
Isaiah 30 says he longs to help you. The second thing is how to know whether this person deserves is to check, to always remember that true nature. Some of us are unveiled, that people are born again, born anew through pain because of how they process it. Look back, study history, and you realize there are people who made a turnaround after they saw up close what they stand to lose in the following ways. Once you realize you stand to lose, this person can walk out on you, and you realize your life will be miserable, you'll never be able to replace them, you get a requisite. There was an element that you must have to remain faithful to your partner. Sense of fear, to fear losing them. When people don't fear losing you, they will lose you.
Yeah.
You don't hear this a lot. People talk, it's all about love. They make love look like it's a soft charity. It's not soft emotions.
Yeah.
The temptations are very strong. They must be countered by something as strong as the temptation. And that is fear. Oh my God, I can't afford it. What did Joseph say? I can't do this thing and offend my king, my God, my boss. He feared ever doing that. Brother, there must be a touch of dread, scare. You must be, oh my God, mortified. I can't do that. No. Even when emotions flare high, you must know that's an impossibility. Never. Why? You have calculated your life. Sometimes you need to do quiet mathematics. Don't show people the figures you're working with.
Quiet.
Me plus that. Then you minus. Me minus that. Wait, no. You need to see the pillars that hold you up. The love of your woman, the love of your man, the pillars that hold you up. Safeguard them with your life. Once you identify the center of your stability, brother, safeguard it with everything you have. And the person to safeguard it from, unfortunately, is you.
Yeah. Yes.
You are both the watchman and the thief. Yeah. You're safeguarding these things jealously. Against who? Now, you take a gun, you stay on the lookout. Against? What it means is there's a side of you that is wild.
Yeah.
Temptations, bad thoughts, this and that. Out here, you're interacting with the world that they're always beckoning because they can see how you have been put together, polished, happy. They want to destroy that. There are women who pursue you not because of you, because of your wife, to prove a point. It's a contest to destroy a good thing. You should not always think you're that handsome and attractive when you see people after you.
Yeah. That is true. That is true.
Sometimes the reason is it's not you. You're just at the center in the line of fire. They're firing elsewhere. You are the convenient, the reachable target.
Yeah.
You've heard of those pathological households, maybe, or people who are hired, or shamba boys, or you hire somebody and they start having their own motive to seduce one of you to get at the other. Yes. They also felt mistreated by the mistress of the house. So she starts to seduce the husband, to prove her point, to get back at. You understand? Sometimes you are not the reason you are being pursued.
That is a bitter pill.
Entertain that and let it rebuke you. You are not the reason. It's another battle happening over there. And they want to take away what you have. You are the reachable. You are the one they can access to reach their enemy.
Yes.
To get back at their enemy. You are the convenient target. Always remember that. So we are saying, if you notice that this person has absorbed the pain and felt it, and they have decided to use it for good, I hope you never have to cheat on your woman. I hope we never have to put our women through these things. But there's one thing I want you to know. You have other smaller mistakes, you can use the same principle. That you can use them to close that loophole. The dog did not get in, but it sneaked its head through the fence. It did not go through totally. So you notice the hole in the fence is not big enough but a smaller dog might go through. So you come and correct it and learn what had happened. You learn that kind of chatting. Why did I let her sit thinking there's a possibility? Yes. Cheating begins when you let another woman think there's a possibility. And then you come to see that you assumed it, and she was serious with it. She was going deep and she thinks you are welcoming her on. There's some people who, it will never happen, that thing of crossing boundaries, but they came too close for your comfort.
Yeah.
It tells you what possibly the leakage could ever happen from where.
Yes.
One way I found a very easy way is to have an open phone policy. Because as things I can't sniff with my dampened male nose. Our noses as men are dampened. Once you smell the perfume of ladies, we can't think straight.
Exactly.
So, once you know your woman means well, she's not insecure or anything, and you have an open phone policy, she can see things from far and help you with them. My wife understands tech better than me. I don't understand how people share phones on Google. So it's just strange thing. This one shared, Google Photos. I'm wondering, where are they getting my email from? So she, this one is just from open. So I'm wondering, some things, the people are more tech savvy than others. And also generation matters.
Yeah.
Some of us stick with one line to perform. Once we find what works, I don't know the rest.
In a straight line.
I'm focusing on delivering results. This is a new technological. I learn what I need. I master what I need. And sometimes she says, you don't use your voice, you don't use these features. I'm using what I need. Thank you. The rest. One way to make sure you have a colleague watch, a person to help you keep surveillance, is not to hide phones or have rigid boundaries. If this is possible with your partner, there are partners who have too much insecurities. They can't rest. When you leave them with your phone, they scroll quickly as if they are possessed by a demon. They start picking issues. When you have a secure woman enough, with whom you can rest, man, you can have peace, man, better to have them assist you in managing the fences. This does not mean you don't have responsibility. No. Everywhere you go, you're not with her. No, we are saying where you can assist each other, assist each other. And where they can tell you, this person has been eyeing, this person looking at me this way, this person pay attention. Pay attention to it and be very careful. And start, when she wants assistance, assist her. So, the third thing is, everybody can say sorry when they don't want to lose you. In order for you to stay, people can fake apology. Yeah. People can say, I'll never do it again. The words are not what matters. Sometimes you need to observe a concrete change of behavior. Yeah. So this means you can forgive a person. Forgiving is a must. You forgive to let go of offense, desire for revenge, so that you can also heal. But forgiving does not mean staying. Does not mean staying or reconciling. So you can forgive in April and leave in September. Let me explain this. Once a person says sorry, give them a benefit of the chance, a benefit of doubt. Keep them now under probation, observation, to see that they'll back up their apology with a change to behavior. Are we together? You can observe while you have restored a relationship or whether you are still standing aside. But sometimes resuming normalcy helps you see whether they meant anything. If they go back to the same things they're apologizing about, leave. They never meant it. But if you see a practical, concrete effort to transform, you have rescued a person. Through their own pain and their misbehavior, your pain and forgiveness. Somebody is Max Lucado said, relationships don't thrive because the guilty are punished, but because the wounded are merciful. It's the mercy. It's the willingness to let this thing to try again that makes relationships thrive. Let me remind you this. Once you've forgiven and let go and you've started healing, keep the person under observation now. Check whether they really meant to change or they just wanted to keep you around. The people who say sorry, they even overpromise, they buy you gifts, they take you where, overcompensate when they don't do the real change of what matters. If they try to get alibis, somebody to say, oh, even so and so knows, even so and so, they try to gather a team to justify it. Don't stay there. You need a happy life. And remember, you can always be happier. It's better to be happier single than miserable with a person.
Yeah.
Better to be alone, to be lonely when you are alone, than to be the person who makes you feel lonely, unwanted, not enough. Then you can't sleep wondering why you're not enough for them, what you should do different, why are they treating you this way. Don't stay with those kind of questions. Always remember, it's never about whether they said sorry, it's how they behaved after they said the sorry.
And I like that, Benjamin, after they said the sorry. Now, Benjamin, talking about the benefit of doubt, you'd realize that some of us don't know how to measure to what degree am I going to keep this person under my surveillance, to actually convince myself that indeed he has undergone restoration, he has a changed fellow.
Your intuition, first of all, your intuition is your friend. You know this person and you know their patterns.
Yeah.
Check whether now they are more open. Check whether they are more relaxed. Even if before you get concrete evidence that people are keeping secrets, you can see how they react. Body language. Sigmund Freud said nobody can keep a secret. If they don't say it with their mouth, their fingers will show it. If their fingers don't show it, the stiffness of the face, the whatever. We'll reach another session where I'll be telling you people are being told to fear women, that they can plan revenge for 10 years. They only plan revenge that way because we are not observant.
Yeah.
Nobody can keep secrets to a careful, watchful person. Even if you have no details, you will get wind.
Okay.
So one way to know whether they have changed is, do you still see those weird signs of things underneath, of things cooking? You still see secrecy. Remember, the soft spot of all affairs is the communication.
Yeah.
You don't need details if you have a way of observing the communication. You don't need to hear what I'm saying on phone. The body language while I'm talking can tell you the context of the communication.
Yeah.
You can tell body language.
Yeah.
Whether it's professional, whether it's another boy, or it's a girl. You can tell without seeing. You can always tell when people are talking loud. You can tell when it's a secret, when it's something that needs to be hidden, whether they are alert, checking. You can always see. Or when you bring up a subject, the first microseconds, the automatic response. When people are not keeping secrets, they're at ease.
At ease. Right.
Yes.
I like that. Now, does that now transform into being too sensitive again to those signs? Because that is again another line we are just about to cross.
We are saying be cautious, be sensitive, don't be paranoid. You need measure, you need balance. If a cheating has happened before, you might be very oversensitive to things that are similar to what you are deceiving. At first, call them triggers. You are traumatized.
Yeah.
And you may be triggered to see something similar. The similar name of that person, or similar setting, or similar language, or something. You may overreact at first. But always remind yourself, it's not about how long it's taking you to heal. Always balance your response, and the person who hurt you should always be ready to explain over and over again until they can regain your confidence, your trust. So watch that you're not paranoid, but again, not being ignorant. Yes.
Once an affair happens again, Benjamin, with forgiveness again, to make things work, it will never be the same again. Is there a possibility, even with the highest level of genuineness from this guy who has cheated? Is there a possibility for this particular marriage to undergo full transformation?
In fact, this marriage can be 10 times better. I want you to picture that. Why? If the person has gone through transformation and become better, serious, more disciplined, committed, full, more free, invested in this relationship. Relationships only thrive according to how much we invest.
Yeah.
Relationships are like crops. It's how much water, fertilizer, irrigation, it's how well we cultivate the land that they thrive. So if now they came with all their views to cultivate, to work on it, to be free, to relax, that relationship can blossom beyond what both of them had imagined. In fact, it can be the best grooming ground for destiny. In another show, I'll tell you that your partner is always a custodian for your dreams.
Yeah.
Is always the wellspring of your happiness. That's where you're supposed to run to when you want a laughter, when you want a nap, when you want a comfort, when you want to your first instinct should always be your relationship.
Yeah.
If it's not the right relationship. If you have another person to whom you go for all those things, that should be your partner. Brother, don't inaugurate the wrong person. I like that. Make sure you install your soulmate to feed your soul with peace, joy, your secrets, your dreams, your desires, your passions, your past, your regrets, your joys, your soulmate. They should be the person who carries all that. We are coming from a culture where there was no friendship between couples. The woman was somewhere below.
Yes.
And the man is like a master. Coming home and putting legs there and cut and radio and remote. And, and women are there with the children. The man is there like, That was not marriage. It was madness. Marriage is supposed to be two people who love each other, joyfully staggering through life. Like two friends walking each other home. Always picture that.
Yeah.
Life is a journey. We are going through the terrains together, the age with my partner. We go through this. That's the person you should be playing with. You should not be stiff and serious. No. The person you are free with, laughing, giggling, should be your partner.
Yeah.
So, you can actually have a better life after people have learned, after people have become better, after people have seen. Sometimes the sinner has reformed, but the wounded person has not healed and they're holding on.
Yes.
I'll tell you another advanced. We'll get there. Sometimes after you've been forgiven and you realize you're still being punished for the sin for years, you can call it off yourself. Okay? Some people forgive you to put you in a prison.
Imagine that is how I was headed.
Yes. So that they quote it everywhere. And during the reconciliation, you sign a very bad deal. This one lady said, okay, I'll forgive you, but you have to do 90% of the work. Me, I don't have the energy anymore. Oh, it's okay. You can't do 90% of the work in a marriage. We must all do you 100, me 100.
Yes.
Give your all, I give my all. Once you realize the person, although they forgave you, they are not able anymore to give their all. Mercifully end it yourself. So that the two of you can be released to find happiness.
Yes.
Without pretense.
I like that. And we'll talk about, actually you are headed in the right direction. That is what I wanted us to talk about. But before we wind up, Benjamin, let us talk about the sinner, the guy who has gone out here. You see, yes, the lady has forgiven me. But again, the guilt, Benjamin, aspect part of it. This guilt of I cheated. Yes, my wife, we are in good terms, everything is working. But the guilt inside me is piling pressure on me to try too hard. Benjamin.
You know, you're so if you realize you are overdoing or condemning yourself, please get therapy. Sometimes you don't forgive ourselves because you don't think we deserve forgiveness.
Yeah.
Or because you see how we hurt other people. Or we ourselves are perfectionism.
Yes.
Remember, once God has forgiven you and you don't want to forgive yourself, that is pride inverted. It's a reverse. There's a time Peter told Jesus, you will never wash me. So if I don't wash you, you have no part. I mean, you have no, we are not friends. Oh, no, wash me not only my legs, but sometimes once a person has forgiven you, you need to forgive yourself so that the matter is laid to rest. If you have a difficulty forgiving yourself, seek therapy. Some of these things, emotional, is because you have other issues inside of you. You are being over-condemned as a child. You are over-punished. So seek therapy and learn how to balance them.
And that is exactly the reason as to why Benjamin is always saying, let us normalize seeing the therapists and life coaches to heal those wounds, because you deserve nothing but the best in life. Thank you for watching The Benjamin Zulu Show. Till next time.